Okay, I think the streams are working on both sides, so I think we can go ahead and start getting going here. Actually, I forgot to grab YouTube chat real quick. There we go. Now we're set. All right, so pulling up yesterday's notes here, we mostly did a lot of modeling. We got a tip jar going. We modeled and rigged 3 of the enemies for the game, and we modeled the magic gun. So today, we're going to be focusing on the actual cafe. Originally, I was going to design this whole like Starbucks-ish style building with chairs and like seating arrangements, a line, cash register, whole 9 yards. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that. So instead, we're going to model like a really small one room kind of thing with a door on the back. The door will be how you engage the night shift. I mean, regardless, we don't really need to model everything since the day shift is going to be a static camera, but we're going to go that extra mile just because we can. So let's start small. First, we need a floor. There's our floor. Let's go ahead and make that floor as big as this grid here, just so that way we have room to work. So just upscale that a little bit. Nice. Next thing we're going to do, go to edit mode. And let's start by making the, how do we want to do this? Let's make an entrance. Let's do this. So we want it to be 1, 2, because we're going to make it a perfect square. Oh, you know what? There's a better way to do this. No, there's not, because... Nope, we can do this. Hold on. Modifier. Mirror. Not here. Oh, hello, Liam Jensen. I need to be in edit mode, don't I? Aha, that's the trick. So we'll go like this. Just spread it out like that. Oops. Just a little bit more. There we go. And now it's no longer a square. We now got a rectangle. Okay. Let's do this. Grab that, slide it over here like this. Bring this out just a little bit. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Hold on. There we go. Just like that. Why are you so quiet? I had to turn my volume all the way up. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me turn up my microphone a little bit. OBS is making it look like I'm super loud. That's why. Okay, that should be a little bit better. I also just generally talk quiet, so if I'm still quiet, I do apologize. So, let's start with the walls here. Bring this up like that. And then we'll just grab these points, this point here. Yep. grab the coordinates from here. Nope, wrong coordinates. There we go. Then we'll just play connect the dots. All right, now what we want to do is we want to make a door and maybe a window. So let's do this. We will take these 3 points here, subdivide. Now I'm regretting making the walls solid. Do you need an editor for your videos? I can do it. I appreciate the offer, but whoops, I'm gonna have to pass on that. Truth be told, I don't even really know what kind of videos I'll be doing until like last minute, and I don't want to have someone be waiting on me for that kind of stuff, especially since I'm still trying to figure out my schedule, and I don't want to have the burden on someone because they're waiting for me to create content. I appreciate the offer though. So let's subdivide these points here, subdivide these points here, and then we'll subdivide these points here. We'll connect these. And with that, hold on. Let's assume a person is about yay tall. We're going to need to bring these points up. So 1, 2, 3. Don't worry, don't care. Just notify me when you have a video you need edited. I'll consider it. I'll keep it in mind for you. How about that? Because truth be told, I'm not even sure what I would want the next video to be. And even then, I'm not even sure. Okay, truth be told, video editing is just not on my mind right now because I'm trying to do this game jam. But maybe after the jam, I'll consider it. And then if I have something in mind that I'd like to work with you on, I can reach out to you. Okay, so we need to connect these points. So this will be our doorway per se, or actually, it would be a lot smarter actually. Get rid of all this. It'd be smarter if I did it on here. That's not what's supposed to happen there. Interesting. Let's grab this point. Extrude up a little bit. We'll subdivide here, subdivide here. We'll also subdivide here. Assume the height of the average person for this game will be there. Whoops. I thought I hit Control V, I hit Control C. Connect these dots here. That'll be our door. So now we can just fill in everything else. So I think I still have the coordinates. Yep, there they go. So we can make this a little window space. This can be closed off. And we'll put a sign on here. This can be closed off. And then for this, we'll do something a little silly. What's the theme of the jam? Truth be told, this is one of those game jams where you just need to make a small game. They say aim for at least 3 minutes of gameplay. There was an optional theme revealed on the host's live stream on Friday last week. Yeah, Friday last week. I just started streaming when they went live, so I wasn't able to watch it, unfortunately. But from what I've seen, there's already 3 entries submitted to the Tiny Jam. It's on itch.io, so I recommend checking out those entries if you have the opportunity to. One of them was a visual novel that was apparently inspired by the theme. So if that's what the theme, if the theme is like sci-fi-ish, then that might be what that visual novel was referring to. I did look at the entries. I haven't had a chance to play them yet, but they all seem pretty interesting so far. So that definitely raised the bar in terms of what I need to do to compete. Let's see. No, I want to keep these points because we might want to make windows here as well. So we got 2 windows. We're going to put doors here. Actually, since we're going to put doors here, let's... This way? Yes. Just bring it out a little bit. That way we got a little bit of a door frame that we can kind of use. Yeah, kinda is the operative word. All right, let's subdivide here. Grab this coordinate here. There we go. Subdivide like that to create, we'll have a little wall here, a little window here. Maybe a little window here, a little wall there. Subdivide. Create the wall spaces here so I can remember to do the windows later. Excuse me. Okay, and then we'll put the floor. Oh, right, that's the mirrored side. Get these in place. I think we should grab those bottom door vertices and just lift them up a little bit. Because exactly that, because I selected the wrong vertice. Okay, so let's I'm not even looking at the right side. There we go. We'll have the customer step up to walk in. That's not a safety hazard. Don't worry about it. All right, let's connect these to make a floor. It's starting to look kind of like a restaurant. It's starting to. So let's make those windows. What's the jam called? There are many. Vtuber Tiny Jam 2025. I clicked on the wrong vertices. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we'll grab these vertices here. All right, so now we just need to put counter space and a ceiling, ideally. So let's do the ceiling a little bit higher. How do I want to do this? Let's grab all these vertices and just see what happens if I extrude them. Just go across like that. Let's just make this one stand up straight. There we go. Go to the sides. Just make this a little more. Yeah, and then straighten this one out. And then what we'll do is just make a little ceiling. That doesn't look too shabby. Now we just need a back door here. Issue being I don't want it to be mirrored. Actually, real quick. Let's save this blend before I forget. Cafe blend. Definitely don't want to have Blender crash at any point and lose all this. There we go. So let's start simple. There we go. Now I can kind of work inside, just worrying about the mirroring later. So first I want to make a countertop. So let's grab a cube. Bring it up a little bit. Slide it across. And then we'll bring it back to about here. I think that'll be enough space. It should be enough space, but we'll see. We'll see with time. So first thing I want to do is actually maybe duplicate this cube, put one on top of the other. And then for this, oops, I just want to select one. For this cube, we're going to bring the height down to about here. And then we'll have its front half just kind of stick out a little bit. Give it that little countertop feel. Go across like that. Yeah, that looks like it'll be fine. All right, so now let's figure out how long this counter is going to be. So let's grab these vertices here. I don't really want it to run all the way to the window. We don't have to have it run all the way to the window. So first off, let's select these two things. Just bring it in line with this grid space here. And what we'll do is we'll just have it kind of curve this way. Maybe we can just have some fake furniture or something around these parts. We'll figure it out as we go. In the interim, I just want one cube. Am I looking in the right way? No, I'm not. We'll grab this, and we'll just extrude this all the way back to maybe about here. Then we'll grab the countertop and more or less just do the same. Yeah. Oh, why is it not letting me? There we go. Then just to make it compensate a little bit, just stick out a little bit to the side. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Is the visual novel game you're talking about like Shooting Stars? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I saw the cover art for the games page, and it looked pretty nice. But again, I haven't had a chance to play it. Okay, so I think I actually need the other model to be more visible now. So you know what? Let's actually bring this in a little bit because I don't want to block the windows. So we'll just go back to maybe about here. Grab these 4 vertices here. Yeah, that should be fine. Then grab this other one and do the same thing. All the way across. And then I think what we'll do is if I go into this perspective, right? No, this perspective. So we want the player to be facing the door. We'll see them, have them be able to see the characters walking in to place their order, have them walking out to enjoy the coffee. And if we have the time, we can maybe create some logic so that way they sit in the cafe where the player can see them. In the meantime, though, modeling first, before I get lost in my thoughts again. The countertop is basically done. I don't think I need to do anything extra with that, but I do feel like this building could use some stuff. So let's create a quick circle. What does that look like in Blender? That doesn't look too bad. So if I press F, that does that. Then if we just extrude a little bit, we get that. Then if I grab what do I grab? We'll just grab another circle, bring it up to the same height. Or actually, bring it above. Do 7. Okay, this house is kind of... Building's getting in the way. Grab that second circle. Let's bring it in a little bit. Bring it back down a little bit. Shrink it a little bit more. let's bring it down some more. Can we grab 1, 2, 3? Well, actually, first of all, close that up. Oh, you know what? Doesn't look terrible. Looks fine. I think we'll go with that. So we'll just need to highlight all the vertices on the lower half and just make it match the floor. Oops, I did not need to do that. We can just stretch this out. Close that loop. And that's a table. Could be bigger though. There we go. So now, if we get the... Let's start renaming this so I can actually keep track of this. There we go. Rename. We'll call this the shop building. ID data, table surface, and this will be the table stand. So let's just see what that looks like over here. It's about the height of the countertop, which is kind of the goal. I think the base... Hold on, I think if we put it by the door, we'll have a better idea of how we're doing on scale here. Because this does feel really, really small. That's because it is small. Okay. And so is the counter, for that matter. Let's just increase the size a little bit, bring it up. That's a little more like it, assuming that, you know, people are a little bit below top of the door height. They'll sit down, brings them their knees to about here. So now it's just the countertop that we need to increase the size of. So let's do that. That's a little bit better. Alright, so I feel comfortable, whoops, merging these two. So let's join them. Now we have a table. Now we just need to make a chair for these real quick. We're going to use the good old low poly chair modeling technique. So first thing we need to do is go to edit mode. Add the mirror modifier. Then we'll just grab this top part. Actually, first of all, shrink the length of these legs here. Bring it in, bring it in. We'll even do something smart here, line it up with the grid here. Whoops. And then we'll just bring these up to that grid space. Okay, and then we'll just bring these a little closer together. Bring it up to about maybe halfway. Halfway looks decent. And then like that. We'll make the seat about 2 squares long, just for the modeling sake. Or actually, bring this side back, then do another extension so I can do the legs. And with that, well, missing face aside, we have a stool. Ta-da! And then just to make it operate like a real chair, well, I guess first we gotta fix the seam in the middle. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Just get uncomfortably close to your model's lines and make them kiss. Then just deselect so we can see it. Looking decent. And then just to give it a little backing, how do we want to do this? I think we'll go with this way, since we got the mirror modifier on already. Oops, let's just go 1, 2. Let's go all the way up to here. See what that looks like. Yeah, that looks worthy of the Roblox engine. Alright, is that chair too big for that table? A little bit. If we do this... Yeah, you got no space for your knees there. Let's edit the model itself to make this work. So we'll just bring this down like this. And then let's add another modifier just to make it look a little bit prettier. Leave it subdivision surface. That's a little too extreme. You know what? It's not that bad. Let's see. Render levels, number of subdivisions to perform when rendering. How about if we go backwards? I'm not seeing a difference with this one. We'll put it back to 2. What about this one? Oh, there we go. So that's how you make it more high res. Given the nature of the structures around it, though, I think this might be going too far. Even this might be going too far, if I'm being honest. I think all we really need to do is just... Let's do this. We'll grab these 2 points, we'll subdivide. Subdivide here as well. Subdivide here as well. And then let's highlight this face. And this face. Can we just get rid of the faces and keep our vertices, please? Close enough. So what we'll do is we'll bring out these vertices here. Maybe about there. Yeah. Subdivide. Did I imagine that vertice? Am I crazy? Or is the table in the way? The table might be in the way. Yes. Okay, so just slide this across like this. And what we'll do is create this kind of fake curvature to the chair. Oh, whoops. Subdivide. Then what we'll do is just grab the x coordinates from here, plug it in there. Wrong vertice. U and U connect. Then U and U can connect. Go back to solids. U and U can connect. And then just make faces from there. Nice, nice, nice. Then just fill in these side gaps with some triangles. Did I not fill in this face? No, I didn't. How old are you? I'd rather keep my age to myself, if you don't mind. I appreciate you being willing to share, but I'm not, unfortunately. I will say I'm not old enough to retire. That's for sure. All right, I think that's pretty decent. I think we can also just kind of wireframe. Let's just bring in the shape a little bit, including this top part. Here we go. Give it a more slender look. All right, we got table, we got chairs, we have our counter space. All we really need now are some doors and some windows, which begs the question of how I'm gonna do this. So let's start simple. Yeah, let's just do a simple plane. And then we'll just wireframe that. We'll just make one door with two sides, and then we'll just mirror it on the two door frames that we got there. So, first things first, let's bring it up to the doors so we don't get any depth perception nonsense going on. Grab this vertex here. Just gonna do this the funny way instead of the smart way. That's how I operate. Yeah, we can even have these doors just be kind of, if I can do this correctly, edit mode. It's gonna start from that point. Okay. They can be swung open for the shop. We just need to make a door texture to make it kind of look somewhat natural. Which reminds me, we can now steal this. Well, actually, first of all, let's make it actual 3D. Bring it out a little bit, just extrude a hair like that. There you go, that's a 3D door. I want to make a sign. I don't even know if we have a name for the cafe in the design document. Let me pull it up. Nope. My buddy and I wrote this entire design document. We don't have a name for, well, we have a working name for the game, but we don't have a name for the coffee shop. So I'm gonna have to do something about that. Okay, so let's rename this plane to door, just so I know what this is. And then we'll copy paste the door, bring it up. Let's rotate this to be 90 degrees. Whoops. Select the door you actually want to rotate. Let's bring it in to be somewhat center. Above the door like that. What's the name of the game? According to the work design document that we got going on here, we called it Coffee Shop Shooter. I'm hoping to come up with something better later, but, you know, we still got like 5 days to figure that out. We don't need to rush it, right? Let's see. So the sign probably just needs to be brought down to like here. And that pretty much solves that problem. It is not even. This will make it even. Because it's 3.5 squares on both sides. So let's rename that to the sign. I have an idea for the name of the coffee shop, but it's based on a script I'm writing, so I don't really want to put that in this game when the script's not even related. Okay, let's just, I think this is a decent like jumping off point to start doing texturing, especially since we spent 40 minutes modeling, and I don't have too many hours to work today, so. Drink water. And let's start texturing some of these things. Let's start small. Let's start with the table. So let's hide everything else. 1, 2, 3, 4. I should rename these things as well. That's the chair. And then we'll also just join these. Cafe counter. There we go. Hide these models. What do you shoot in the game? I'll go through the game's design real quick while I'm getting this started. Essentially, the game's premise is that you work at a coffee shop during the day shift, and you start going through your ingredients. And at night, you go to this kind of like wilderness area and shoot monsters to get more coffee ingredients. So you'll fight like literal coffee beans for coffee beans, a vanilla bean for vanilla cream, so on and so forth. So yeah, it's kind of a wild concept, but it sounded like it would be a fun game that my buddy and I haven't played before, so we decided to do that. Yeah, table surface base color is a fine name. Let's just find like a little good wood-ish texture. Or texture? Color. There we go. That's a wooden table. Then all we need to do is go to the material. Give it some roughness. Maybe some metal-ish look. Let's go 0.5. Can't go wrong with 0.5. Yep, that sure looks like a table to me. So now if we do this, we have a table. So now what we'll do is, first of all, set its coordinates to 0, 0, 0, and then export it. God, there's so many models I need to import to the engine, and I'm still not done modeling. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Table. Alright, that's one model down. Let's do the chair next. So we can probably do a similar color. Let's grab this and put it in view. Surely there's a way to make this work. Aha! Do I want to do anything different with the chair, though? I don't think so. I think the chair is kind of fine, even if it does look like a Roblox model next to that. You know what? Let's see if we can draw some small details real quick. It might be fun. Okay, maybe we need to do something different here. Select all. So that's the UV map. So if we do a smart UV project. Aha! Cool. So now if I try to texture paint, it's a little more even coding there. Maybe we'll just do like a upside down U-shaped, like that. Nah, there's something better we can do. What if we just give it... Okay, you know what? This is a game jam. I don't need to be a perfectionist with a chair, of all things. So let's not. So let's set the coordinates to 0, 0, 0. And then make sure we export the selected model. Yep, selected objects, no animations. This is the chair. Cool. Let's do the door next, because that's going to be a little more of a challenge. Texture paint. So I don't mind starting with like the same material-ish. Or actually, here's what we'll do. Base color. Start with the same base color, but make it a separate material so we can draw some additional details on it. So we'll call this the door color. Cool. And then just highlight all vertices. Do a smart UV. Cool. So now, should be able to draw on it with no care. So let's start by just kind of doing a high level, I want this detail. So I would like it to have a small window here. That's a unique issue. Wait, so does that mean... Nope. Okay. I mean, I don't mind drawing on here instead. So first of all, I just want to make sure that these are the same elevation. Which streaming thing are you using? OBS. Everyone uses it. It seems to work reliably well, and it has some customizability, so I'm all for it. And then I have a plugin so I can stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Wow, that's an ugly window. Might be better if I just gonna... Nope. If only I was an artist. In real life. Okay. I'm getting more and more tempted every day to just plug in my drawing tablet, and I just don't want to get up from my chair to do so. Just go across. Nope. There we go. Getting somewhere. Actually, before we shade that in, let's try and get a similar design going on here. Oh my god. I swear I'm not a perfectionist. I'm just getting annoyed with myself and my lack of skill. Down a bit. Good enough. So we'll just color those in real quick. And then we'll just add some for lack of a better term, door details. Like maybe some vertical black lines to give it kind of like a more tree bark texture. Okay, so that's one window sloppily done. Let's make that two. It's always the little lines that you don't notice until it's too late. Clean that up, clean that up. Okay, from a distance, they look fine. So, save first. Let's change our color to... Let's go with gray. Gray might be a kind of fun color. I think 10 pixels should be fine. Let's just see what that looks like. Yeah, 10 pixels should be fine. So I think what we'll do, instead of straight lines, it's just kind of snake lines going up and down here like this. It's not going to look terribly great, but it does communicate the idea that this isn't a clean door. It is just a brown door with some squiggly lines. And you know what? If that ain't most wooden doors, I don't know what is. Alright, one more side of the door to do. Do I want to do the sides? We can cheat for the sides, I think. Can I do this? And does that do anything? It does something. Let's just kind of... give it some fake detail. That almost looks intentional. Except for the part where this is all blank. Just in case someone tries to look at these models for some weird reason. Okay. Let's try and finish this door up. I don't want to get stuck on things too often here. Okay, just grab this direction a little bit. Let's give it some wild lines on this side. Looking good. Then the final touch, we need a doorknob somewhere. So what does this side look like? Are you going to add a doorknob? Yes, 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 yes. We should probably use a different color. Let's use gold. Or bronze, whatever color that is. So where does this appear? This side, okay. So we'll just stretch this out a little bit. There we go. Now, ideally, these surfaces should be pretty close to each other. So if I do this, for example, Blender, allow me to? Yes, there we go. So it is printed on the other side. So now we just got to do kind of like a similar thing here. Make it somewhat even. There we go. Got a door. So now all we need to do... Oh, that's not good. Did it not save? Save. Save. Do I need to maybe invert the normals? Oh, taking off? Alright. See you later, Liam. So, we need to somehow invert the normals. I literally figured out how to do this yesterday, or if not day before. I just gotta remember how. Quick effects? Nope. Maybe I need to do an edit mode. Oh wait, UV. Nope. Face. Edge. Oh, mesh. Normals. Flip. Nope. Why is this suddenly giving me issues? Well, I can always just drag and drop the texture and engine and maybe that'll fix it. Time will tell. For now, that's a door. So we did the table, did the chair, we did the door, the cafe counter, yes. How to start. Let's make a new texture slot. Countertop. We'll start with a kind of a grayish base color for the top of the counter. It says there's some surfaces that might be open. And the smart UV is not... Oh wait, I'm in paint mode. That might be part of it. UV editor? Aha! Then go to image editor mode. Am I painting with the door texture? Is that what's going on? It's not what I want at all. Shoot, how do I... There we go. So let's try get a brownish. We'll start painting maybe down here. Or not? Once again, it's not letting me paint. Let's try this. If I wireframe, deselect those vertices. Get these ones, get these ones. And then get these ones. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Split. And it's still not quite separating these two models for some reason. Oh, separate by selection. There we go. So now what we'll do, solid, grab this, go to texture paint, base color, countertop. And then let's assume I want to paint. Still not letting me paint. That's fine. I don't really want to paint on top of this color anyway. I think the color is fine. Just need to increase the roughness. Give it like a 0.5. And we'll call that good. Now we'll do the same thing with this one. Texture slots, base color. Or actually, can I call upon that other material? There we go. Then go back to here. Bring this down. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be kind of solid. We'll just join these, then export. Counter top. Let's get a drink of water real quick. I think there's only one more thing we need to... Nope, there's still the sign. We can do the sign later. Let's do the shopping building first. Because this is going to be the complicated part. I know I want to do the walls as kind of a... Maybe a brick. And then maybe do this, the roof as just kind of like tile. But we'll see. We'll just make this a blank viewer node, see if that maybe fixes our issues. There we go. Got a blank template there. Base color, we'll call it. Nope, that's actually a decent name for it. And because I want it to be brick, let's just make it like a deep red. All right, so now, can we do a smart UV? Ooh, that's very nice. That's very nice. And then if I go to image editor, go to paint. Nice, nice. Looking good, looking good. Let's see. Let's grab the color white. And I'm not really painting on the model still. Cafe building. Still not painting. Okay, something's going wrong here. Here's what we'll do. We'll take the material off. Make sure our texture is clear. We're going to export the building as is. We're going to re-import it in a new project and see if that fixes the issue. Because that did fix it for me last time. So we'll call this building. Make a new Blender project. Import FBX. Okay, go to texture paint. It did not switch to the texture paint mode, interestingly enough. Oh, there we go. Texture paint, add a texture slot. Get that deep red we were talking about earlier. And now we can paint. Look at that. All right, so first off, I want to give the windows kind of a clean look to them. So that should be our first priority. We can probably just jump in here and do this. Let's drop that down to maybe 25. Should be good. Yeah, kinda. We'll just clean this up after the fact. Priority number one is making sure that the color intentions are communicated. Cool. Then there's another spot with window-ish surfaces. Oops. Here. Oh. There we go. So first off is here. Yep. Is this part of it? That looks to be... Ah, yes. Then probably this surface here should also cover what I'm looking for. Yep. Now we just gotta find that last one, which is probably this right here. Yep. This is probably the door frame. Yep. So where's the rest of that door frame? Should be one more tiny slit. Aha! Are you it? Yep. Cool, cool. Alright, now to come up with a way to do the kind of like a brick surface here. So let's drop the pixel count to 5. Let's see what we can do here. Maybe just like a straight line to start. We'll do some straight lines like so. Bricks aren't even straight lines anyway, right? So it really shouldn't matter too much. Let's just do some basic bricking, just see what that looks like before we get too far ahead of ourselves here. Just so we can see if we even like the idea of doing bricks for the next hour. I mean, I don't think it looks terrible. Kind of like how it looks. Bad lighting aside, it might actually be okay. Okay, so I know this is the roof. I know this is some kind of wall. That's the floor, actually. Okay, so what about here? That's the back wall. So let's finish doing the lines that we do know go in a straight line, or are connected at the very least. Just like that. And then we'll just continue the pattern from here. Yep, those are bricks. It's actually kind of nice. I won't lie, I kind of like how that's looking. But we're definitely going to need to draw a white line at the bottom here. So let's just do that real quick. A little more across the top. And then we can probably draw some straight lines right here as well for additional bricking. You know what? Before I go any further, actually, let's undo all this. We should use very, very large bricks if we want to get this done today. So first up, just cleaning this up. We'll make each one of these like maybe 3 bricks tall. I think that'll be the play. So, drop this back down to 5, I think I had it at. Let's make it up to 10. So first we need to do the bottom row. Then we'll do the middle row. Just a little more, a little more. Then we'll do the top row right here. Okay, so let's start the bricking process back here. We'll start by making this the whole brick. This the half brick. I said 3 bricks tall and I ended up making it 2. That's totally fine though, because that means less work. And if there's anything that I'm looking for in a game jam, it's less work, even though I keep making more for myself. Like, I looked at the rules for the game jam and it said, oh, as long as the asset is publicly available, you can use whatever models, sound, music you want to use. And I was like, oh, cool. I know some cool websites for that, like Pizza Poly. Didn't even end up looking at those models. Got too excited about modeling my own gun and coffee cups for some reason. I'm a silly dude. Does this go all the way across? Because if that does... Nope. Not even close. No? So that connects to the top, like that. So we want this to go across. Then maybe about here. A little more. Here. A little more. Here. Yes. Then just a little bit more for here. Yep. Okay, let's do the rest of this wall real quick. We'll do like a half right here. And then we'll start connecting those lines. So here, a little more, here, a little more, here. Whoops. All the way across. we'll go over. We can correct that line later. Same with this one. Here, a little more. Nice, it's coming together. Okay, and then just finally, a little bit across the bottom like this. Okay, so I got a little bit of white on the roof, but that's fine. We just need to complete these patterns now. So, we need to do an in-between here and here. Or actually, maybe more appropriately, like this. Then halfway across here to complete this line here. Halfway line here. Complete this line here. Halfway here to complete this line here. Cool. And then we'll just kind of... a little bit more should be fine. Yep. Then we'll just do one row at a time. So we'll just do this to complete this. In between and complete that. Yeah, that kind of looks like a brick. So in between here, in between here, in between here, complete here, to here, to here, and then complete here. Just getting ahead of myself here. Do some in-betweens right here. Connect these lines. It sure is coming along. It sure is coming along. Gotta figure out how to do these walls next. I'm pretty sure this is the floor, right? Yep. That's the other floor. That's the ceiling. Oh, that's a space we can use. I'm trying to find this space, though. Where is this? Oh, of course it is. Okay. So, if we come back down here, do that. That's kind of even with what we got going on over there. That's kind of even. A little bit lower. A little bit more. Just a hair more. That's good. And then we'll just close off the bottom like this. Nice, nice, nice. So real quick, I just want to clean up this color. Then just a little bit off the top here. Yeah, it's bleeding in a little bit, but that's okay. Most of the time, the player's not going to see this surface, so let's not lose sleep over it. Okay, so let's do some bricks. Maybe more here. Okay, we'll just fill in. We can overcorrect this later. Do here. We'll complete this side and complete this side. Do here and here. Do here and here. Cool, cool, cool. So now we need to clean up these two so we can actually do some actual brickwork here. Start by cleaning off this excess white color here. We don't have any more, do we? Down here. Down here. Nice. Then just clean this, and we can resume. Alright, so, pretty sure here. So let's try and match up with what we got here. Is this the right side? Yes, it is. So if we just ride across the top here, and then do the same on this side. If I can draw in a straight line. There we go. Then probably right around here. A little higher. Yep. And then just across the bottom like this. There we go. Now we just gotta do the brickwork. So for this one, we want to do kind of like a half and half. Yep, let's go a little further out though. Make that a big brick. Big brick. Maybe one more line here. Yeah, we can push it out a little more. Maybe up here. Cool. And then just do some in-betweens here, 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 and here. Oh, this looks so funny. This looks so funny. Alright. How are we gonna do the roof? I'm kinda actually happy with just leaving the roof one way, but there's gotta be something we can do to make it interesting. Let me take a sip of water while I think this over real quick. That's good water. Alright, so what we got going on here is we have some spillage here, so let's clean that up first. I think what we might end up doing is just using the color black for this roof, and then seeing how well that jives with the brick aesthetic we got going on here. If it's too jarring, then we can use something different. But I'm trying not to get too lost in decorating this building, considering that for the most part you're not going to see outside of it. And saying that out loud makes me realize that I don't need to paint the roof, and I'm just doing it because I want to do it. I need to get better at texture painting anyway, right? It's a skill to develop while you're doing this game jam. And suddenly I can't paint. Oh, there we go. Blender does not like it when I zoom into a texture too much, it seems. It's like, why are you looking there? Get. Okay. It's here, isn't it? Yep. Then a little bit off here. A little bit off here. And a little bit off here. That's as good as that's gonna get. Alright, let's use the color black for our lines. I'm not really sure how we're gonna do this, so we're just gonna do this by I don't know what term I was gonna go for there. Let's just draw a straight line and see what that does. Or can we just do... like, follow the path of the ceiling? Ceiling? Roof. Assuming I can draw straight lines. There we go. We'll just do this one side, and if it doesn't look good, we'll call it. Yeah, no, that doesn't look good at all. We're just gonna leave it like that. That's not terrible. And again, it's not like the players are gonna see this anyway, so let's make sure it renders. Ooh, that seam right there in the middle is pretty bad. Let's see if we can't fix that at least, because the player might actually see that. I'm assuming that's right here. Yep. We'll just clean that up real quick. Oh shoot, I need originally in the design doc there was a line about how you enter a pantry to get to the ingredient pool. I think we may just have to drop that, because I don't want to model a whole extra room. Or alternatively, I could just take that door I made, slap it on here, and pretend there's something there. You know what, saying that out loud, let's do that. That sounds funny. So let's export this. We'll overwrite the existing file. All right, was there anything else I wanted to model today? Or did we actually get everything I was aiming for? Nope. There's 2 more things I need to model. We need the NPC for milk, and we need the NPC for chocolate. I say NPC. They're going to be interactables, truth be told. So we don't need this file anymore. But just to be safe, building. So new file. So the first thing we need to do we'll model is a tree. We're gonna have a cocoa tree. So let's grab let's actually go to Google and see if cocoa trees are even a thing, because I have no idea. Cocoa tree. Okay, so they are a thing, and they actually look kind of similar to what I was thinking of anyway, but I was thinking they were a little more closer to a banana tree, less of a growing on the actual bark kind of thing. Cacao tree. You know what? I'm looking at this, right? And maybe I have Kamen Rider brain rot, but I'm looking at this image. I'll put it on the stream. I'm looking at this image, and I'm seeing the Helheim forest from Kamen Rider Gaim. That's what I'm seeing, and I kind of like that. I think we're going to go with that. So I'm going to look up reference images of that instead. Oh, hello, Della. Welcome back. We're just doing some more modeling today. I don't think we're going to be doing any game coding today. I'm trying my best to get to it, but I keep remembering other models I need for the game. Helheim Forest. I don't know how to search up this forest. Guide forest. That's a decent reference image. So this is what I'll be staring at while I model these trees. Don't worry about the weird monsters. We just need the trees with the cocoa plants. So that's my reference image. Let's start simple. I'm going to start with a circle. And then we're going to close off its bottom, and then we're going to do some odd stretching just to give it some more natural-ish shape. Grab a couple vertices at a time, just swing out. And already, that looks more natural as a tree base. The next thing we're going to need to do is select all vertices, extrude up, shrink it down just a little bit to give it like a kind of a roots looking thing. We can actually do a little more to make it that way. We'll stretch these ones out. We'll stretch these ones out. Oh, Delilah, how's the weather out there? You said it was raining a lot yesterday. Has it at least calmed down a little bit, or is it still raining pretty hard? You mentioned you were looking for ways to push the storm away from your area. Select all of that. Not you, not you, not you. There we go. Let's go up a little bit like this. Shrink it down a little bit like this. Actually, bring this down. Raise it up. Expand it out a little bit. Oops. That was a bad mistake. Bring it in. Okay, now we just need to add some branches, which is going to be the tricky part. So let's do this. We'll grab these vertices here. Bring them out. Bring them up. And then grab those same vertices. Bring it up. Oh, you know what? Make this a little bit easier for ourselves. How do I want to do this? Let's bring these back down a little bit. Go up a little more. Then we'll select all of these. Bring it in. Bring it up a little bit. Just give the branch some reach. Shrink it down a little more. Then we'll do the same with these ones. Just go up a little bit, up a little more. Bring them out this way. Shrink them a bit, raise it up. Take it out, shrink it a bit, raise it up. And then we'll bring it out a little bit, bring it down, shrink it a little bit. Let's see, I did 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3. We could probably bring this out a little more. So let's grab all of these, bring it out a little more. Grab these, bring them up and out. Hello, mafioso, if that's how I pronounce that. Apologies if I butcher it. Welcome to the stream. We're modeling a tree. Seems to be going okay so far, at least. So we'll just grab all these vertices here, and then these ones here. There we go. Go out a little bit, up, shrink a little bit, out a little bit more, up a little bit, shrink. We'll go one more time, out a little bit, up. Go up really steep here. I did not mean to extrude. I want to rotate on the x-axis a little bit, and then shrink. It's starting to somewhat look like a tree. Maybe if these branches actually started off growing at a lower height, it would make more sense. We'll come back to it. You can do better editing than me. Appreciate it. I'm just trying to improve my skills for this game jam, so as long as I'm improving on the whole, I'm happy. If I can finish the game, I'll be even happier. Because at the rate I'm going, I'm going to have basically only a fraction of the original vision done, and the vision wasn't even that big to begin with. Oh shoot. Stop it. There we go. Let's angle this correctly. Bring this up. Bring it out. Bring this up. Oh, I didn't shrink these ones. So let's do that real quick. Something we could probably do is just cut gaps in the middle of the trunk and then pull these branches down so I don't have to model new ones. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So for this one, actually let's make this one droop. I think having this one droop would be kind of interesting. So let's grab this branch, make it droop. Then let's also be a little crazy here. Make it twitch a little this way. Oops, just this. Go across here, go down here. Make it droop a little harder, rotate a little bit like this. And then we'll go out like this. Bring it down, rotate a little more. Let's make it pointed, a little pointed branch. Yeah, that actually looks kind of nice. I kind of like how that came out. All right, 1, 2, 3 more branches. 3 more branches. So we'll grab these 3 vertices here. Go up a little bit like that. Let's bring this up quite a bit more. There we go. Extrude a little bit more like that. Adjust my seat because my butt is falling asleep. Ah! Okay, grab these faces here, not you. All right, let's make that branch. So we'll make this one. How do I want to do this one? Let's have it make a sharp curve. I like how this curve started. I want something really, really curvy. So we'll go out like this, shrink it a little bit, and droop down, rotate a little bit. And then we'll also rotate it like this a little bit, make it kind of turn towards us. Then we'll extrude this out, shrink it down. So sorry you have to go, but you'll be back next time? All right, appreciate it. Thanks for dropping by in the first place. Hopefully we'll see you at the next stream. Should be tomorrow, though. We'll keep at it in the meantime. There's still a lot of work left to do. Let's see, what can we do to make this make more sense? Let's pull these vertices like that. Oh, you know what? That looks... We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. So let's bring those vertices in a little bit. Bring this vertice out. This one out as well. Select these faces. Bring it out a little bit more like that. You know what? That didn't turn out too bad. I'm kind of happy with that. All right, let's make those last couple branches here real quick. This one, we'll go with the trend that we started with the other side. First of all, making sure it matches the height of the other side. All right. Whoops. There we go. Bring it in. All right. Let's bring this out and then up and then shrink. Bring this out and then up and then shrink. And then we'll also rotate this up a little bit so we have a little more of a sharp upward branch going on here. Then we'll also rotate this like so. Maybe that's not the right way to rotate it. That's a little bit better. Rotate it kind of like this. Yeah, that's a sinister looking branch. I'm starting to think these back ones might be a little too thick now. Maybe we can bring them down to size a little bit. There we go. They're starting to look a little bit more natural. Yeah, I might have to extend the length of these branches, but otherwise I'm kind of happy with how they are. So now let's start... Oh, one more branch. I forgot. This one... Let's go up a little bit. Actually, we can experiment with this one being the long branch. So let's see what that's going to look like. So let's assume that this branch is going to be down here, and we just want it to like really reach to the heavens or something silly like that. So we'll go out like this quite a bit. Rotate it on the Y, X. Even it out a little bit. Bring it out like that. Rotate on Y, X. Nice, nice, nice. And then just... Oh, I didn't shrink it. That's my next issue. Shrink that. Shrink that even more. And then shrink this even more. Now that just looks like an evil hook. Let's do this. We'll bring this up a little bit. We'll bring this in. Actually, we should rotate this a little more. Or, alternatively, bring this in. Bring this in. Oh shoot, we're not even close to our branch, are we? Okay, let's fix that first. I'll bring that into there. Bring it down. Man, it's all kinds of goofed up. Okay, so let's grab these vertices. Yeah, we're gonna need to fix the rotation on this one. So let's grab the Z, see if that might fix it. Yeah, it kind of fixed it a little bit. So y-axis. Maybe we could fix it just by moving it to the right position a little bit. So fix that. Patch that up. Rotate on the z-axis a little bit. And then we'll just grab all these. Move them to the right position. This branch is already taking up too much time, I'm realizing. You know what? It'll be faster if I just try again. Probably from here as well. So first of all, it lost its faces. So let's connect those back up. There we go, making some good progress. I mean, aside from this one branch, like the other branches came out kind of decent. I'm just struggling with the expansion. That's the issue. So we'll grab these vertices here. Let's do it this way. Welcome back, Liam. Let's bring this out. Shrink it down a little bit. Bring this out. Shrink it down a little more. Bring this out. And shrink even more. Then what we'll do is rotate a little bit. Let's try and grab just the vertices we want. Okay, cool. So if I do that, it'll let me do a full rotation on its own. So let's just try bring it up. Okay, so I need to be facing it almost head on. Okay, maybe that was too much. A little bit, little bit, little bit. Little bit. Then up. Then on the Y, just a little bit. There we go. Now we're starting to get what I was looking for. Okay, so face it directly. X-axis. Y-axis maybe a little bit. Like that. Then just Not a bad branch. All right, let's try getting these branches to new positions now. So I think the easy way to do this would be to highlight each individual branch, separate them, then recombine them with the mesh. Or highlight relevant vertices, I highlighted the wrong ones. 2, 3, 4. We'll delete the face. Reconnect these. Then just disconnect the edges here and here. Gotta be really careful here now. Connect these. Cool. And then highlight all this, highlight all this, and this, and this. And then just bring this all down. Back up a little bit. Now comes the real tricky part, lining this up. Careful, careful, careful. Okay, so now just delete that edge, delete this edge, boom, boom, boom. And now all we need to do is create some supporting faces. Oh, and also maybe fix the branch. The branch is not quite full. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, the branch is good. So now we just need to make some supporting vertices for this branch to blend in a little better. So let's do this. We'll subdivide here, and we'll also subdivide here. We'll connect these vertices like that. We'll also need to subdivide here if we want some good triangles. Boom. How does that actually look? Yeah, that looks wrong. Whoops. Okay. We need to do something here. What if we just do another subdivision here? Do 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks a little more natural. So now we just need to do the same thing on this side. So we'll connect the points here. Ooh, you know what we also need to do? Grab these points here. One, 2, 3, 4. Nah, I didn't think so. It was never going to be that easy. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Maybe another subdivision here. And then there's a way to slide along an edge with a vertice. That's probably not that important. I can just... I want it to line up with the top anyway, so we'll just do kind of like this. Two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay. So connect these up. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we just need to get these 2 points up to here so we can finish this tree a little bit. And actually, to make sure we support the original shape of the tree. You know what? I'm doing all this extra work. There was an easier way. Hold on. We can fix this real quick. If we go back down here, all we really need to do to make this easier on ourselves is to take these vertices here and then the rest of the branch, just to make sure we maintain our shape. And all we really needed to do was just slide this out a little bit. Then just take these points and extrude them up to match with the rest of this. So I'm going to do that. We just need to bring it in like this. Not quite matching the right height, but we are close. There we go. And then, just to make this blend a little bit better, we can just grab this point and this point, subdivide here, grab this point and this point, subdivide here. And then there's still more we need to do to make this smooth, but I'm onto something. I'm onto something. Subdivide. Subdivide. Then just grab all of these vertices. Get rid of those faces. Oh, of course I got rid of the vertices in the process. Never mind. It's not that easy. We can come up with another solution though. So, first of all, I want to connect these like so. Maybe I can just... What if I try to do one at a time? I think that worked. It kind of worked. So now I can create... Whoops, did not mean to select you two. These little curves on the trunk to better blend the inside of the branch to the rest of the tree trunk. This can be a triangle, and this can be a square, or a rectangle, or however you want to call it. So now I just need to do that for each part. And I swear I'm learning from this, so we don't have to take this long on each branch, I hope. Fingers crossed. We shall see. I'm already spending too much time on this tree as is, so we just gotta make do. Oh, did that delete that vertice? Yes, it did. Ah, that's annoying. Okay, can we just delete edges and not get rid of that vertice? Nope, really wants to get rid of that vertice. There we go. That kind of works, even if it deleted more than I wanted it to. All right. So just connect these up, connect these up. This can be a triangle. That looks kind of decent. Now we're just going to connect the rest of these up. Alrighty. Now we got to somehow do the rest of these branches. Alright, I think just to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to separate all the branches, and then we're going to just patch up whatever's left. Yeah, that might be the way to go. So let's grab these. Highlight all these. Cool, I didn't grab anything excess. Got these. Got these. And now, there we go, that's the branch. And apparently some additional vertices. Okay, now all we need to do, maybe to make this a little easier, actually, grab these connected surfaces. Well, we could subdivide here. It's not a big deal. Or I should do these one at a time. I don't want to accidentally create too many vertices. Subdivide, and I mean, there's a subdivision right there. That kind of works. Okay. Gotta highlight the whole branch again. I'm making so much work for myself. Highlight all of this. Not you. And we're just gonna move it out and start separating these edges. Whoops. Glad I saw that before I hit anything. And how did that affect the tree? Not as bad as I was thinking it was going to be. So let's patch up some of this stuff first. So we'll make a triangle here. We'll make a weird-ish square there. Nope, not there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be a triangle. And this will be a rectangle. I'm definitely making this harder on myself than it needs to be. Put the branch down here. So let's rotate this a little bit to match up. Also scooch it, whoops, this way, this way. Yeah, we'll line it up with these vertices down here, I think. So just kind of about here should be fine. So now we just need to there we go, that's a start. And then we'll line these up. And then we'll add some subdivision here. Actually, we should clean up the faces first before I forget and make this harder on myself. grab down here. There we go. Now, we can subdivide here, make ourselves a square, make ourselves another square, then subdivide here, make ourselves a square, make ourselves a square right here as well. Cool, cool, cool. Look at that, we got 2 branches in the middle of the tree. It's starting to come together. Starting, but we're getting there. We're absolutely getting there. Let's see, we still need to bring the height of the tree back to normal, but we can tackle that at the end, because I want to make sure we're not doing anything additionally crazy, because we're already doing something crazy. So, grab that, slide that out a bit. Let's break these links, and break these links. All right, so since this is a downward branch, kind of want it to be a little bit higher. Bring it in. That's a little too much. Bring it to about here. All right, and then we'll just start matching this up a little bit. Alternatively, there's a way to do this. Hold on. Probably on the x-axis. Then rotate on the z a little bit. There we go. Now we got a branch facing a different direction, and so we don't have branches trying to collide with each other there. And just to make sure we got it a decent amount, let's pull it out this way. Rotate on the z a little bit more. Let's connect it with these 3 vertices right here. So we'll just bring it a little more, rotate a little more, and that should do it. Now we just got to bring it back up. Go 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Now we just got to make our squares. Now I'm going to get a sip of water real quick. Always remember to hydrate. Very important. Okay, so I'm going to, let's do this. Subdivide this, connect this up. Then I can extrude this up. I did not hit the right thing. I definitely didn't hit the right thing. There we go. Connect this up. And slide this back down a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want that. So we'll subdivide here so I can actually bring this back up a little bit. So 1, 2, 3. Nope, that's still wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4 is that. 1, 2, 3 will be our triangle. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 will be our awkward square. Our very awkward square. So now I just need a subdivision here. We'll do 1 more subdivision without you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll just need another vertice We'll extrude this straight up. And then we will break the edge. Hopefully that doesn't delete the vertice. It deletes the vertice. Okay. What if I connect the vertice, then try to break the edge? Aha! So now we can do 1, 2. 3, 4. Let's create a square. We'll have a triangle kind of fill in that gap there. It's a bit of an awkward fit, but it's on the tree, and that's pretty decent. We'll just patch up this little hole real quick while we're at it, and these holes. Oh, shoot, I'm already past the time I was supposed to stop streaming. Shoot. I was hoping to get at least this done today. Here's what we'll do. Let's, this is gonna look bad, but first off, we're gonna get rid of our branches that I just spent most of this time working on. We're gonna get rid of them. Because I want to at least get this done today. There's a way to make it work, even if it's gonna hurt muscle. Okay. So, make sure... Okay. That hurts. Add a modifier, generate mirror. Alright, let's see what we need to do to clean this up now. Let's do this. Select all. Drag it in. And then we'll start filling in the gaps from there. So we have a gap here. We'll close that up. We have a gap down here. Clean that up. Another gap here. No more. Another gap here. More or less resolved. Another gap up here. Close that up. Another gap here. And we've got a weird situation going on here. Let's patch this one up first. Where is this vertice going? Oh shoot. Not quite. Not quite. What are we missing here? Let's take these 3 vertices here. Yep, and we'll extrude them on the x-axis a little bit. Oops. Little bit more. Nice, nice, nice. It's coming together a little bit. Okay, we need one more. Come across like this. Connect it up to here. Almost. Come on, we can do this. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna save so we don't lose this tree. We're on the precipice of doing something really silly here, so always save. Alright, that's at least somewhat done. Now we just need to do something about this situation here. I think we'll just kind of cheat speedrun this. So we'll just take these, subdivide here, just so we can have some squares going on. We'll let this one be an awkward square. Close that. Whoops. And then what we'll do to make this tree kind of feel complete is we'll shrink this down quite a bit. That was a mistake. We'll just make it a closed top. We'll make it look like someone chopped off a portion of it. So first off, we need to make connections here. Subdivide twice. That was not what I meant. Or you know what? Triangles. Then we can cheat here just by raising this up. Making some squares here. And then I feel like there's something missing with the trunk. Oh shoot, yeah. There's a lot missing with this trunk. How do I want to do this? Let's do this. If I take all these vertices, right? All of them. And just extrude and shrink a little bit. Then just take these ones that I did not highlight correctly. Shift them in. Shift them in. What am I missing here? 1, 2, 3. That's a triangle. Or, alternatively, bring this out like this. Connect it up to here, like that. Create a triangle like that. Create this triangle like that. Or, is there a better way to do this? Let's subdivide here. Let's subdivide here. Whoops. Not you. You. Make a triangle here. Make this the square. I guess alternatively, I could have also just hidden this model, like this part of the model, underground, instead of doing all that work. Oh, I guess we still need to do something about this side. We can keep it simple. Just do the good old triangle. Maybe just another triangle here to close it up. Nope. 4. That kind of works. That kind of works. Alright, let's give this a very quick tree texture, and then we'll call it a night. So, texture slots, base color, we'll call it tree. Give it a good old dark brown. That doesn't look too bad. Let's turn the roughness up. If I add metal, what does that do? Nothing interesting. Smear. What does smear do? Not what I was hoping. Soften? Nope. Let's put our tools here. Texture painting tools, wherever they are. We'll put the strength down to maybe here. What does that look like if I try to paint it black? I'm not even sure it's actually painting on the model. Maybe that's for the best. I think we don't need to do any more detail than this, really. Like, yes, it's weird to have a tree be like one static color, but we're going to be attaching fruit to this, so I'm sure it will be fine. Actually, there's one more thing I should do. Make sure it's material loaded. We're going to add a bone to this, and there's only a single reason why, and it's because in Unreal, there's a really cool way to make things attach to objects that are skeletal meshes that I really like doing, and you can't do it unless it's attached to a bone. So, automatic weights. Look at that. Now it has a bone. All right. Select everything. Export FBX. Tree. Copy path. Keep the textures. There's no animation. Export. All right. All that's left to do is fill out our development log for today. And we should be all good to go. So let me also put in what I want to do for tomorrow. So day 06, June 25th. Let's see, there's one more NPC to model. We need to model and rig a cow. Because that's the only enemy type that we haven't, enemy type, quote unquote. That's the only NPC we haven't done yet. So that'll be all the modeling we need to do. We need to import our models into Unreal Engine. So, which that might take like 10-20 minutes at worst. I think after that, we'll start working on the enemy NPCs. Enemy blueprints, I should say. Starting with the coffee bean, then the espresso bean, since those are going to be very similar to each other. We need to animate... Oh, we need to animate these models. We can animate them in Unreal. It's not a big deal. Let me just make a note of that. Animates, enemies, walk, and attack, and death. Those are the only 3 animations I care about. Coffee bean, espresso bean, vanilla bean, and cow. Those are the only animations we really need to do. And then for enemy blueprint per se, all we need from the tree is simple logic like, oh, I didn't model the cocoa beans. That's what I'm forgetting. I need to model the cocoa beans to harvest from the tree. That's the last thing we need to do, aside from the cow. Model cocoa beans to be harvested. Cool. Anyway, with the tree blueprint, we just want to do an attachment script, or function, I should say, for the cocoa beans. If visible, can be harvested. If invisible, harvested. That's what we'll focus on for tomorrow. So now for the actual log for what did we do today. Day 05, June 24th. We did We did some modeling. We modeled the cafe, including the chairs, building, table, countertop. Oh, but I didn't texture the sign. We don't need a sign. Countertop, doors. That's everything, yeah. Oh no, I also modeled the tree. Cocoa tree. Was there anything else we modeled? I don't think so, but I want to double check. Let's see. Sort by date modified. Tree, building, countertop, door, chair, table. Nope, that's it. So that is all we did today. It's kind of tough. Not gonna lie. I kind of wish we did more. But having only like 2.5 hours to work doesn't give you a lot of time to do much. So we'll save this tree file. All right. Well, you are alive, Delilah. That's good. All right. That's all we're going to have to be able to do today. I unfortunately do work, so I do have to get off about now if I want to be able to function tomorrow. But we will pick this up same time tomorrow, in the evening my time, at the very least. We're going to try and finish up the last 2 models that we need to do. And then from there, we will get back to programming and finishing up the core mechanics of the game. So look forward to that. I know I am. In the meantime, you guys take care of yourselves. Hopefully I'll see you next stream. See you then.